Good evening, DFTVA. This is a message broadcast from the subterranean lethargy. By now you will have realized who this is. This is Ben. I am present to introduce the next recruit to join our glorious uprising. Without further embezzlement, please look moderately interested for Max.
Morning, Nerdfighters. I'm Max, and this is my kind of introduction video where I'm going to discuss kind of how I've been asked to discuss kind of how I discovered the Vlogbrothers, how I got to Nerdfighter, what keeps me here, and what is my favorite part about it. I was first introduced to John Green actually through Mental Floss. I didn't know he had any of the work except that. And I didn't know he had written books either. I simply knew he was a likable guy on Mental Floss, and I watched nearly every Mental Floss video, including the ones without John Green, because it's a fantastic channel. And I guess what happened was, I keep moving back and forth. I have a lot of energy. I've had some coffee this morning. But I guess what happened was I started to want to know if he did more, and my brother kind of casually mentioned, like, oh, I'm really into these guys called the Vlogbrothers, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and I'll check them out later. But then I slowly discovered that John Green was one of the Vlogbrothers, and then I discovered he was the same person who had written all those books I had heard about, The Fault in Our Stars, which was in my local Vaughn's, which means it's doing pretty well. When your book is in the local supermarket, it means you're on the bestseller list, because they don't tend to stock obscure titles. And that led me on to discovering the community, Nerdfighter, and both the Ning and the forum, our Pants forum, and just people in general. I'm actually part of several groups on Facebook, the Los Angeles based, I'm based in Los Angeles, nerd fighting activities, and also kind of getting into nerd scouting. If you don't know what that is, you should look it up. It's awesome. A little shout out for them. And something that interests me, and one of the things I love about Nerdfighter, and this is something I wanted to talk about, and one of the reasons they asked me about this, they say, what keeps you here at Nerdfighter? And I think it's because it's such a positive community. A lot of online forums, they're not exactly the most positive communities. I mean, they can do amazingly positive things, but they also have this amazingly negative side. John, for instance, who can do these amazing things like, help the police catch child predators, but at the same time will do horrible things like kill Bill Cosby, They didn't actually kill him, but make it look like he's dead. Make Bill Cosby look like he's dead. And Nerdfighter is kind of like the other part. That's just the first part. They leave out the faking celebrities' deaths. And I think that's fantastic. The community attempts to fight world suck. And that's something I like, is that it's doing something. It's not just discussing the things that we love. We do that as a community. We'll talk about music, or art, or video games, or Doctor Who, or Harry Potter, or any of the many fandoms there are out there. But we also are trying to do something positive with that fandom. I think the inclusiveness of Nerdfighter is probably my absolute favorite thing about it, though. No one has ever treated me badly because I have not watched every single Vlogbrothers video. I am working on it. I've never felt like I have in other fandom groups, really. If you go to a strictly Doctor Who forum, where if you don't know everything about the Doctor, you're kind of judged for it. That people will kind of look at you differently. I've been to conventions where the same thing will happen. You'll mention, like, oh, I like X. And the person's like, do you know why about X? And I'm like, I do not know why. And then they look at you like, Z. I wanted to thank Nerdfighter for including me on this video project. And Dave, I'll see you on Monday.